Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back on the rooftop. Welcome back to another Sunday stream. Welcome to the best time of the year, which is October, Halloween, the spooky season, cold season, whatever you want to call it. It's here. It's fantastic. First, shout out to October. It's- October is the best. And because it's spooky season, I obviously already in in the mood for playing horror games and everything that is spooky. In fact, I put out the video on YouTube if you want to check it out. The 10 best games to get you in the mood for spooky season. Totally recommend checking that out. There's some cool games in there, and there are also games in there that you can play even if you are a wuss. Like if you are not really, feeling the whole horror vibe and you might be more on the screamy side, go check it out. There are some games in there that get you in the mood, but are not that scary. Okay, and to be perfectly in line with that, we are playing Silent Hill F today, which is a phenomenal game. And I have to make a confession: I'm already through the game. Originally I wanted to stream it last Sunday, but I knew the moment I bought the game, like I got a good deal and got the digital deluxe edition, which came with 2 days early access, I think. So I knew that I will start the game. I could not wait. And on Sunday, unfortunately, I hadn't had the time to stream, so I had to postpone the stream 1 week. And I'm already through the game. I'm already in New Game Plus, as a matter of fact, because this game has New Game Plus and it's mandatory to play New Game Plus. I shut myself out of another ending because I'm dumb and I cannot read, which is another topic entirely. But New Game Plus also like gives you way more context to what's actually going on, because when I finished the game the first time, I was confused out of my mind. But we will start the game today. We start a new game, a regular new game, and I will show you the first hour, maybe hour and a half of the game, just to get you in the feels what Silent Hill F is. And I really hope that this might, tip you towards buying this, because if I'm quite frankly, the game is phenomenal. Like there's a lot of discourse out there, but the Silent Hill fandom, like all the fans of the Silent Hill franchise, they are pretty hard to deal with, and basically you cannot do anything right. But as a casual Silent Hill enjoyer, and especially enjoying Silent Hill as this psychological, projection game where everything is kind of revolving around your inner self and it's projecting it into the game world and telling a story that way. And from a vibe perspective, it's so good. Like I really enjoyed myself like in the first playthrough. I'm still enjoying myself in the second playthrough. I love how they set up the whole story. I know they have a writer on board that is pretty known to a lot of people, like Ruri 07. I don't know from the back of my head. I could look it up, but you also can look it up. Like Google it. It seems to be a writer from a very famous visual novel series, and he seems to be like on point with his stories. And from what I played in Silent Hill F, I can attest to that. Like this game is super cool. It has the vibes. It's settled, like situated in Japan, which is awesome. Like something that we haven't seen. While like a Japanese studio is making those games, they are always situated in like the western part of the world. Like almost feels like western cities. And this game is situated in Japan, and it's phenomenal. So you will see for yourself. We play the first 1.5 hours. In fact, I will start up the game right now, but first I have to connect my controller, because I will play this with a controller, I think. And it has a very interesting combat system, and I will walk you through how everything works. Maybe explain something that the game itself does not explain that well. And yeah, I really hope I can kind of, you know, get you to the point where you might decide to buy the game yourself, or even the other way around. Maybe you decide that this is not your cup of tea, which is also fine. Also, on a separate note, Is it connected? Is it connected? Yes, it's connected. Let's see if it stays that way. On a separate note, I also finished Chronos. We played this a while back. I also made a showcase video on my channel. So if you want to check that out, head over to YouTube and check it out. It's a pretty neat game. I finished it now after like roughly 20 hours. It was brutal. The difficulty, in my opinion, was brutal. And other than or not like Silent Hill, it doesn't have any, difficulty setting. So you have to play Chronos like the developers intended, and it's brutal. Like, not gonna lie, I was not enjoying myself at the end too much, but the game as a whole is very, very good. Like, it's a very, very good game. So let me get Silent Hill F on screen here. Hopefully everything works out. By the way, Silent Hill F is running in the Unreal Engine 5, which is always a red flag. If you know me, I always bring this up because I have had my fair share of problems with Unreal Engine 5, even though I have a very strong PC. But I'm happy to report that Silent Hill F is damn good when it comes to performance. Like, it runs beautifully. So let's start a new game. The recommended difficulty is story for the combat. I think I will stay at story because I'm really not a huge fan of difficulty in horror games. For me, the difficulty is to get through the horror games because I'm scared as fuck, you know? So let's keep it at that. And I think we stay with the normal uniform here. Enjoy, guys. Enjoy. It's a very nice game. I hope you love it as much as I did. Or do.
私は一人でも全然寂しくないの。仲間外れなんか気にしないもん。
ひなこ、お友達のところに遊びに行ったんじゃなかったの？
男の子と遊ぶ子はおままごとに入れてあげないだって。
じゃあお姉ちゃんと一緒におままごとしよっか。
本
当？お待たせ。お姉ちゃん。何かいいことでもあった？
うん、昔を思い出してた。お姉ちゃんって小さい頃からずっとお姉ちゃんだったんだなって。
ひなこ、私ね。
これお姉ちゃんにあげる。
綺麗だわ。
綺麗だわ。ありがとうございます。 Oh, vibing so hard to this, man. Hikari.
ひなこ親に向かってその言い草は何だ
お父さんやめてください。
お父さん。
中高あんなにも高校娘なのにどうして妹の前は何もかも正反対なんだどこ行く話はまだ終わってないぞひなこ
お父さん、ひなこだって分かってくれてますよ。
分かってたらどうしてあの態度になるんだこれも全部お前がひなこをずっと甘やかしてきたからだろう
ひなこ、お父さんはね、あなたのためを思って
友達のとこ行ってくる。
早めに帰ってみてね。
Alright, just give me a second. I will activate VSync for me. Boom, boom. Because it's way smoother this way. To give a little bit of context here. So this game takes place in the 1960s in Japan, and there's a pretty set, you know, role system in place, like where women stand, especially, and this game leans heavily into this topic, especially like women are only, you know, happy when they are married and stuff like that, and you know, husband's very abusive, and yeah, those are the topics that this game really heavily leans into. I will not spoil too much, but I think it's kind of good to know. And her father obviously has some issues, but for now we are going to meet our friends. And look at this, like this is beautiful. Like I think that Silent Hill F nails the vibe. What I loved about, you know, Silent Hill 2, this game delivers in spades, paired with the whole Japanese aesthetic, which you know me. If you know me, you know how much I love the Japanese culture. I will not read everything out. You can just pause and read it if you like. But there's a whole narrative about medication as well. Traditional medication, like herb-based. I think a lot of Silent Hill fans will appreciate the fact that it has some cross-references to a very famous drug. Let's leave it at that. And modern medicine, which is also like a topic here. And it looks and runs really, really good. I even have confirmation. I looked up some videos that it even runs well on Steam Deck. So if you want to play this on the go, you can, which is totally nuts if you think about it. We got Cronus on Switch 2, and now we have Silent Hill that runs well on a Steam Deck. Imagine, like I'm coming from the Game Boy era. In fact, wait a second. I still got a Game Boy right here, you know? I still got a Game Boy right here. With Smurfs in it, obviously. So, seeing those games running on a handheld is like nuts. I really appreciate this.
拝んでおこう。
So those are the shrines. You can save the game here. There will be some other things that you can do, which will come significant later. Because this game has some RPG touches. Like we will see later on when it comes to combat, there is the possibility to have builds actually, which is pretty cool. Like very, very high level. Very high level. But it's there. So let's save down here somewhere so I not accidentally overwrite my save.
私はどうしたら。
どうしたら A woman is only complete when she's loved, featuring the latest fashion for young women to so pure they even make flowers blush. By the way, just a minor spoiler, if we want. In New Game Plus, this house is open. So that you have an idea what New Game Plus does to the game. Like, if you play through this game once, it will take you around roughly 12 hours probably, depending on how much gamer brain you have and how much you are exploring everything. But once you're through, you probably have a lot of questions, and when you start your New Game Plus, you will immediately get more context, different cutscenes, and even the fact that some houses that might not be open in your first playthrough are open in the second one. I think there are 5 endings in total. After you finish the game once, you can look them up in the menu and check what prerequisite you have to get the other endings so that you not lock yourself out like I did. But I will play through New Game Plus anyways because I want to have those additional cutscenes to maybe understand more what's going on. Yeah, so now we are going to the the general store, and meet our friends. But first we are exploring a little bit. Pick up every item that we can. It's a survival horror game after all. It's not that limiting. I'm really, really glad because Chronos was so finely tuned when it comes to, you know, how much resources they're spitting out for you, that it was almost to its fault, I think. Like, there's a fine line between resources are scarce and it makes sense and it is fun, and you're slapping a boss 10 times with your melee attack because you don't have any ammunition left. Alright. But none of this is in this game. Like, you will have enough to fight for your life.
運転手さんいませんか？
Cutscenes are 30 FPS, which can look a little bit choppy at times. Sometimes it's perfectly smooth. I think the frame timing might not always be perfect, but it's pretty manageable. From a technical standpoint, I love this game. I cannot stress this enough. Even in later parts, there are some parts that might stress your GPU a little bit more when, you know, more is going on the screen, and there will be some transition of the level that might take more processing power, and then you feel it. But overall, it's pretty goddamn smooth. And it wouldn't be a AAA game if you cannot shimmy through a tight space, right?
私なら絶対に嫌。そんな家。噂をすれば何とやらだよ。
切り者。
咲子、
どこ行くの？こっち通るの珍しいね。
車が道を塞いでてさ。
千鶴や？
今は誰かと喋りたくて。
私も後から行くね。
うん。じゃあね。
裏切り者。
Also, you have this journal that fills itself. You get all the information about different figures that you meet, different locations and lore, you know. You also will have a puzzle section if you encounter the inevitable puzzles of a Silent Hill game. It's all done very, very well. You also have all the enemies that you meet with information about them. And my question, can you read this? If you can, let me know in the comment section below what this might mean. Tsudani Mayumi, last seen wearing white blouse, long navy skirt, beige neckerchief with black polka dots. Details of disappearance, the rest has been torn off.
破られてる。
Ausspiel. Also, like, I really love this map because it gives you details about your surrounding, but also highlights like the big locations, the big landmarks, and it also crosses off sections where you cannot traverse through, which I find very, very helpful throughout the whole game. Like, sometimes it's very helpful to know where you have checked, where you cannot go through, and where you might proceed through the game, where you can progress, which is very nice. So let's see what this guy is all about.
Shudo.
Shudo. Alright, what's up, Shu?
Yo, Aibo.
Shu.
あのさ、
うん。なんか言ってよ。
お前こそなんか言うことはないのかよ。
相棒にないんだったら私にだってない。
お前らしいや。受け身な生き方なんてお前らしくないぜ。お前が自分で選んだ道なら俺はいつまでも応援するからな。
シ
シュウくん、お待たせ。
ひなこもいたんだ。
ュ。リンコ。
何の話をしてたの？
いや、大した話は。
誰かとおしゃべりしたい気持ちだったんだって。
気が紛れたよ。
それはよかった。お役に立てて光栄の極み。会えると分かってたら借りてた雑誌持ってくればよかった。
ああ、貸したままでいいよ。 インコに貸した時点で戻ってくると思ってないし。
んだとこんちくしょう笑いすぎだよ。咲子だってひな子から何か借りてるんじゃないの？
私なんかあったかな。ねえひな子、じゃあ私が借りてる500円も返さなくていいよね。
咲子利子つけて返すとか言ってなかった？
言ってないよ。証文あんなら出してみろ。
いいこと聞いた。これからは咲子に貸すとき消しゴムであっても証文書かせるから。
そんな意地悪言わないでよ。ひなこ、
あ、ごめん。何？
裏切りも。
Oh. Hey partner, these painkillers should work best for you. They'll not only take care of your headaches, but also pain from injuries. I suspect that the main cause behind your nasty headaches is from your unconsciously grinding your teeth when you're upset. Does that sound about right? If you ever need to talk or anything, just call my name and I'll be there.
助かった。みんな絶対無事でいてくれよ。
This was pretty nice. When this girl Sakuko, you know, had all these things grow out of their face. Like this triggers something in me that I have, and I know that there are a lot of people might have this. I don't know what it's called, but it's a phobia, like of patterns, like round shapes that are too close together. Look it up, but be careful. If you're one of us, you will get sick. And this is very close to making me sick, actually. Like, this is ridiculous, but it looks so cool. Very cool scene, I think. Bandages, yes, they restore health, which is good.
ここどこ
Doko
急いで咲子のとこに戻らないと
By the way, before we shimmy out of this, there was like, maybe I should have done this at the start, but we have a new subscriber on YouTube, Christopher Gorman. Welcome to the club, man. Welcome to the family. If you're watching this, I'm grateful, okay? I just wanted to say that. I forgot at the beginning. I got an email that we have a new subscriber, which is pretty neat. The sound and music and the lack of sound sometimes is so well done. Okay, we don't have anything to fight right now, so right now it's all about dodging. You can lock onto enemies, you can dodge, you have a stamina bar. When it comes to that, it's pretty soulsy. And you have a perfect dodge as well, but for now we just get out of here. We don't have anything to fight. Just do the right thing and just get the fuck out of there. In here. Go away. another health item. You can put them wherever you want. You have two hotkey setups basically. I like to do my health stuff on the first, and then stuff for the other resources on the second. But obviously everyone is different. Shit. Oh! Get the fuck out of here. Still don't have anything to fight. Hello? Sweetheart? Would you come over here, please? And they can jump up. They can and they will jump up. Oh, let's get the fuck out of here. Shit. Bloody key. A key with unknown bloodstains. Not sure what it unlocks. Oh shit. Oh shit. Okay. Nothing in here. Oh! Probably where it came out of. Get the fuck out of here.
ここはまずい。シュウたち無事だといいけど。
I need a weapon. I need a weapon and I need it fast. Oh god. Still no weapon. Still no weapon. Okay. Okay, so first explanation. I told you that we get more stuff that we can do in the shrine. Right now we found an antique comb, and we also find items that we can enshrine in a shrine to get faith, which is basically a currency. So for this antique comb, that does not benefit us at all. Those items, and there are some other items that you can find that are the same way. They just there to enshrine. Some of the items you can also consume and get something, but you will notice very quickly that there are items that are worth to enshrine rather than consume, okay? So with this antique comb, it's a no-brainer, and we get 300 faith. And what we can do with this faith, which we cannot do right now, but we will be able to, is upgrade our health, our stamina, our faith, or our sanity, it's called, I think, and the amount of omamori we can equip. Omamoris, which you can also draw here, which we will do with our first comb, because this is basically what we should do here. You get a random one. In this case, we get the plume. I think I got the plume in my first playthrough too, so maybe this one is not randomized, but you can spend faith to draw umamori. And what you can do with those is, after you save here, what you can do with those is you can equip them, and later on you will be able to even unlock more slots. So when I finished my first playthrough, for example, I got 3 slots. And those omamori, which you also can find throughout the world if you explore a little bit, they can give you varying bonuses. Like, for example, this one, increase max stamina, but also stuff like if you pick up health items, you get health back. If you kill enemies, you get health back. Your sanity consumption while in focus mode is decreased, which makes way more sense once we get into actual combat. But yeah, you can basically build out your character with those omamoris, which is, in my opinion, a very, very cool system. And you really feel them. Like, I had a build ready that focused on focus attacks, and it was pretty cool. I will explain more once we get into focus and how combat works, but for now, just know that also your faith will be needed for upgrades. This is something that I didn't notice until it was too late. So I draw a lot of umamoris with my faith, and then later on it unlocks the ability to improve your character, like, you know, increase your stamina, your health, or your sanity. And I didn't have any faith on me because I spent it all to draw those umamoris, and they get increasingly more expensive the more you draw from this shrine. Okay, let's get the fuck out of here because this creature is still following us. And hope we get a weapon soon so I can explain combat. Nothing to collect here. Go down there, no.
リンコ
There we go, there we go. Okay. Okay, we go through this. I mean, I let you read this. So we have like a light attack. We have a strong attack. If you stun an enemy, which you can do with a heavy attack, they take more damage. You can lock on enemies either with the left stick, with the right stick, like you used to in Souls games, or with the X or square button, depending on what gamepad you use. For PC, I don't know. I don't play those games on PC because I think in this case a controller is very preferable. And what else? And I want to explain this right now because I will probably use it. Enemies can attack you with certain attacks that you can counter. So they will get like a colorful outline. And if this happens, you press the heavy attack button and you basically stun the enemy right away. You can spend focus, which is your left trigger. You notice this little flower bar at the bottom left once we fight. This will get drained when you're in focus mode. It basically slows down time a little bit. After a certain amount in focus, depending on your weapon, you get a focus attack. So there's a circle completing. Once the circle completes, it's different for every weapon. Some go faster, some take a little bit more time. You can press the light attack button and you execute a very unique focus attack. It's also unique to every weapon, and this is also very high hitting attack. But you drain sanity, sorry. And if your sanity, you lose max sanity if you do this. So you cannot do this all the time. Once your sanity is gone, you will take health damage from enemies. Some enemies only do sanity damage. It's very convoluted and it might be complicated at first, but it's very intuitive and it's a lot of fun. So let's fight this enemy. You notice this colorful burst? I could have counted this. And if I go into focus mode, you see, it drains my flowers, which will get back up again after a certain amount. Unless I get hit by the enemy. If I get hit, it will not go back up. And when I'm in focus, I can extend the counter window. So if you feel that the enemy is about to attack you with a countable attack, you can go into focus and you have more time. Exactly. And this was something that that took me a while to understand. Like, you can go into focus and you can extend this window. And look at the bottom left. If I hold focus, now I can execute a focus attack. My sanity drains, which are the flowers, but they will fill back up. Unless I get hit during that focus time, then I will lose whatever I focused, I think. On story difficulty, it works a little bit different, and you also get sanity back while consuming those pills, for example. But this is the gist of it. And in my first playthrough, I had a build where I decreased the focus charge time for my weapon tremendously, and also the amount of sanity it takes to clear this up. So I was constantly focus attacking and just shredding my enemies, which was pretty fun. Yeah, but that's basically it. It's a pretty cool system. I know people are shitting on the combat system, and it can get clunky at times, yes. But let's be real, survival horror combat most of the time is clunky. There are a handful of games that are, centered around combat, and they do it pretty well. Resident Evil 4 comes to mind. The remake especially is so smooth when it comes to combat, but Silent Hill was never smooth when it comes to combat. And this combat system, honestly, is pretty sophisticated for a survival horror game, and it can get a lot of fun. It reminds me a little bit of Souls. It's not as hard as Souls, but it has some properties that you need to be aware of that makes it fun to experience with. And also, if you look at the moon at the bottom left, this is your durability of the weapons. And I know I hate durability as well, but this is just a way of for the devs to balance your or you know, to give this survival horror feel. In other survival horror games, you find weapons and ammunition. Here it's solely melee focused, so they need to balance it a little, and this is how they balance it. You can repair weapons with certain items, and you find a lot of weapons. You never run out of weapons. At least I never ran out of any weapons. But you have to think about which weapon you want to use. Some have a more higher durability but less damage, and others have very high damage but a very small amount of durability. And you kind of need to, you know, plan around that fact. Another enemy. Now we get the counters, so you can read this, but I basically already explained this. So it will probably open up with a countable attack. So let's see. No? Okay, then try the focus attack, which stuns the enemy right away. And then we follow up with a heavy swing. And this is a 1-2 punch combo that at least on this difficulty with those enemies are enough. And of course, never forget, it's a survival horror game, so running and not fighting is also a very valid option. And sometimes it makes more sense to just run away. Like, it does not make sense to fight everything all the time. This is a toolkit. As you can see, we can repair durability with the toolkit, so we hold on for that to that for now. And this is your loop. This gives us back sanity. I like to put those onto, it already is, onto the second wheel, which you can activate by pressing R1 after you pressed L1. You can switch between those. I really, really, really like this. I really, really think this is awesome. And it gives you enough things to worry about and to plan ahead that it feels like a proper survival horror game. And the atmosphere is just awesome. And it's yeah, I think it's, I don't know how you feel, guys. Maybe it is also something for the comment section, because I'm very curious how scary you think this is, because for me it was very, very good, like very manageable to get through. I enjoyed myself so much. It was scary, but more goosebump scary, other than really terrifying scary. Oh. So we might, I just will skip this enemy, because why fight everything, right? Why fight everything? Just with us. It's another shrine. There are also items that you can enshrine, as I said, so if you have enough bandages and capsules, I think this will keep me top off when it comes to health, so I can also just enshrine the yokai I found to build up faith. And I recommend to do this. Like, if this, you know, if I can give you a tip or trick for the beginning of your game, bank up faith and look for, you know, side path and really explore and you know, find all the items that you can enshrine to get enough faith, because once you unlock the ability to improve yourself, it's a big thing. Like having more health, having more sanity, or even unlock a new omamori slot, is tremendously helpful. Where have I recorded? There we go. Another steel pipe. You can switch weapons. As you can see, you can have 3 weapons at once, and you find a lot of different weapons. music is so good.
ちっちゃい頃の咲く子の夢だったよね。堅苦しい神社じゃなくて駄菓子屋の娘に生まれたかったって。ここならいつでも好きなだけお菓子が食べられるよ。おやすみ、咲く子。
アイスクリーム。
帰りな。今日はもう閉店だよ。咲く子。私やっぱり咲く子との約束守りたいよ。
I think it's dead. Hi, Soskelbud. Yeah. A little bit mental here. Thy restless heart betrays thee as unfit for this auspicious day. Thou must first pay respect to the gods and the spirits of thine ancestors. A restless heart leads to a corrupt soul. Only thou Only through sufficient offerings laid upon many stands may thy soul be cleansed. So we are presented with the first puzzle of Silent Hill, and the cool thing about this is, as you saw in the beginning when we started the game, there are different difficulty settings for the combat and also for the puzzles. And depending on what you choose, the puzzles are more, cryptic, a little bit more difficult. I pretty much played through the whole game with the recommended settings, so I didn't want to have too much combat challenge because, as I said, in horror games, for me the challenge is going through the horror game itself. I don't need combat difficulty, but I love some cryptic puzzles, so I went on hard as I did here, and it's pretty manageable. For this one, it's pretty easy. Like, we have those items and we need to put them on the right pedestal. For that, we can also examine the item and find out where we would need to put this. As we see, we have some bamboo on here, so I guess this goes here. This goes here. Got some dead red, which is wrapped in a leaf. So this goes here. There are some hana on there, like some flowers. So here. And this one is... last but not least.
おはよう。悪い夢にうなされていたかな。
悪い夢。
怪我はないか。怪我をするようなことは私がする。君は体を大事にしなさい。
ありがとう。
それでは行こうか、ひなこ。
どこ？
Mysterious handsome stranger coming to the rescue.
こっちだ。
こっちだ。行こう行こう。
誰なの？
足元に注意。 来なさい。こっちだ。
Kaiken, a beautiful dagger used for ceremonial purposes. The blade has been intentionally dulled, so it doesn't make the best weapon. However, it does seem surprisingly durable. Nano Jinja?
Kimiのために鍵を用意した。案内しよう。こっちだ。いな。
We get rid of our Yokon. Don't need it. As I said, first thing that you should do, bank enough faith. Trust me, bank the faith. Okay, we need a combination, and it seems that one of those are missing.
なんかこれに似た絵を見かけたような。
Yeah, let's get to the shrine. And yes, I know what to do because I played through it already, so it might take you a while to figure stuff out, but for now, just for purpose of, you know, showing some off of the game, I will do what needs to be done, okay? I will not pretend that I haven't played this because, as I said, I'm already through the game. The cool thing is, if you're arriving here in New Game Plus, you can basically skip this puzzle because everything is already in place. And if you remember the combination and you play on the same difficulty, you can just go through it. It would not be a successful horror game if it didn't have, you know, creepy dolls. That's something that is also... Lightning cast down from the heavens split asunder the decayed tree. From the earth crows Kutsu, the prophet of eternal prosperity. And as I said, your journal will update itself, which is pretty cool. So we also can get information about the monsters we're fighting. A monster restrained by chains and shackles. I wonder if it was imprisoned and tortured. It seems to be searching for me, but by sound rather than sight. I should be mindful of my footsteps. A monster that appears to be lumps of flesh stitched together. It approaches with an unsettling smile when it catches sight of me. It's covered all over with sickening wounds. I wonder if it wants to hurt me the same way that it was hurt. And in Silent Hill fashion, if you see monsters like that, you should always think about what those monsters could represent, because in Silent Hill F, the same as in Silent Hill 2, the monsters might tell you something about the world and your psyche, like the main character's psyche and what she has to go through. Monsters represent this kind of, you know, state of mind. And this is very interesting. I love this about Silent Hill 2, where the monsters kind of represent the main character's struggles and fears and sins even. And this is what I love this so much. And if you pay attention, you find so many little details that align with this theory, you know? It's pretty cool. All right, so what we have to do now is find Omus. I think they are called Omus. And it has to do something with the riddle. And if you don't know, Emas, there we go. Find the correct Emas. And if you look into your journal, you now also have a puzzles entry, and you can look up everything that you found that is related to the puzzle. I love stuff like this because I'm somebody who forgets everything. So now we need some lightning, we need a tree that got split, and we need kutsu, whatever kutsu is, all right? So let's see. Probably have a look at those and find something that stands out. Well, I don't find it. Something with lightning, maybe, or a tree, or, you know, kutsu. Kutsu is kind of, I don't know what kutsu is, actually. I think it was a plant or something like that. Ah, there we go. There's a tree. See? Perfect. So this was the right Emma. And now we look for some more. There's part of the map where we haven't been yet. This is the way back. There's a way forward. So let's go here. To whomever happened to read this note, it becomes so easy if you just stop and give up. After all, you're already among the dead. There are more. You need to find 3, which makes sense. Aligns with the puzzle, right? I mean, this is considered to be a spoiler, but I think if you watch this, you should be ready for spoilers, I think. And it's very early in the game. It's alright now. We still need something that might... There we go. There's a plant. I think this might be the kutsu that they talk about. There we go. And the last one is over there. For those who have yet abandoned hope, I have hidden the Amamori that protects against evil behind the Emma I can attest to its efficiency. However, No power is absolute. You must remain vigilant. This heirloom belonged to my grandmother, and now I pass it on to you. Do not think I have much. I do not think I have much use for it now. Yeah, I don't know. Maybe it's this one? Yeah. The cat greatly decreases the damage taken while dodging. You see, you can really build yourself out here, which is cool. Fuck, okay, so we need to go around. And there is the big baddie again. He cannot see us, he can only hear us, so... T? Yeah. Slowly restores health and current max stamina for a set of time. Can also be used as an offering. Is he coming back? Oh shit, okay. I don't want to fight him because he's very tanky. Like, I can deal with those guys pretty good, but... This is an offering. That's pretty nice. This is like an offering that is just an offering. You cannot do anything with that. The Kutsuti, for example, can also be offered, but... Okay, I see it already. There's the lightning. Perfect. Perfect. And there's also our next combination stuff. Alright, now we get back to the temple. They're pretty easy to deal with, but they cannot be killed. And they're pretty tanky, so yeah, let's avoid them. They're pretty easy to avoid since they cannot see you. As you just witnessed. They're pretty dumb. And our weapon is not, you know, not the best weapon to have if we want to fight those guys. Alright. Let's enshrine... Oops, no. Let's enshrine our dried carcass. We hold on to the Kutsuti because, as you witnessed when we started this level, there sometimes is like a red mist that is going on, and you need to run away from it, and it does sanity damage. So it pulses, and every time it pulses, you kind of get slowed down, and it chews through your sanity. And as I said, things like that, and also enemies that do sanity damage, once the sanity is gone, you will take health damage. It's not a big of a deal, but when you drink a Kutsuti, it replenishes your max stamina all the time. So you get through this section a lot more easy. So if you find a Kutsuti, you could enshrine it for 100 faith. It's not a bad idea to do this. Sometimes you find more of those. They are rather rare though, so you might want to hold on to at least one for sections like this, because you never know when they might happen, and if they happen, it's good to have one of those teas around. But the dried carcass, it's something that you can just offer. So let's do that. Nice. So we hold on to our Kutsu. We also equip the Kutsu. Oh, it's already equipped. Okay, perfect. And then we open up the door. So now you can immediately go into your journal, as you see. If I press the on my touchpad, I can see it. lightning, decayed tree, and kutsu. It's like a, you know, like a coin, a bow and arrow, and a devil symbol, I guess. So coin, bow and arrow, devil. There we go. Pretty typical Silent Hill puzzles, and I love it. I love it. There is our key. A key fashioned from a mysterious stone. Judging from what he said, it's probably something precious.
受け取ってもらえて嬉しい。淡雪の紅玉より削り出して作った君のための鍵だ。
私のために。
その鍵を稲荷像に。
There we go, we drink our kutsu and we run. And we perfect dodge because we're badass. And as you can see, because we drank the kutsu tea, our sanity is fine.
「先ほどの扉は客人を招くためのものだ。だがこちらの扉は聖域へ入ることを許された者にしか開かれない。
私は入っていいの？
もちろんだとも。君を招くために今日がある。まだ少し歩かねばならないが、しばし休もうか。
大丈夫
大丈夫
です。
疲れたらすぐに言いなさい。では行こうか。
Easy conversations like that I can already understand in Japanese, which is pretty nice. Like, it's my learning bears fruit, I guess. And I love this language so much.
Hinako, しっかりしろ。返事をしろ。よかった。お前は簡単に死ぬようなやつじゃないよな。
シュウはまだ生きてる。
サクコは無事だよな。一体どうなってんだ。街から誰もいなくなってる。これは悪い夢なのか。
どこに行っても化け物しかいない。 外の何者でもないな。
だとしても幸運だったよ。この世界に残ったのが2人だとして、そのもう一人がお前で嬉しいよ、相棒。
リンコは
俺はあいつに話があるって言われただけで別にその。
リンコは無事なのか？一緒に逃げたんじゃないのか？
悪い、俺も混乱してたみたいだ。あの時はみんなバラバラに逃げた。俺もリンコの姿は見てない。
こんな状況でリンコはどこへ？
自分の家か。行ってみようぜ、相棒。
シュ
どうした？早く来ないと置いてくぜ。
よし、しっかりしないと。
All right, guys. But I think this is the best moment to stop because I don't want to spoil too much of the game. Silent Hill F. As you can see, it's a fantastic game. I really love it. I love the combat system. I love how the thing flows. I love the music and the vibe. It's such a nice game all the way through. It's not perfect. No game is, and I'm sure that very hardcore Silent Hill fans surely have something to complain about. But this is a very new entry. It's not a remake, you know, it's not a remaster. It's a brand new entry, and I really hope they pursue this because I think they nailed it. Like, I loved it. Lately, I have so much so many problems, so much trouble to find games that really suck me in. It's like I'm fatigued. You know, there's so much things coming out. The AAA scene is weird lately, and I start a lot of games and then I just stop because they either bore me or, you know, they're too big or there's too much to do, and I stop playing them. But with this game in particular, and the same with Cronus, by the way, and also Ghost of Yote that I'm playing right now on the PS5, those games really suck me in. Like, I'm hooked. I'm like thinking constantly about those games, and I could not put it down. Like, I could not put it down. I played it, I think, over 4 days, and I was through. Which is very, very much playtime for me, actually. And I also finished Cronus. And, you know, I have a list of games that I finish per year because maybe I will, you know, make a video about which games I finish. And when I compare the list from last year and the list from this year, it's very apparent that I'm not finishing a lot of games. I play almost every big entry. Like, I'm still, since I'm 5 years old, I'm exactly like this. Like, a game comes out, I'm excited, I want to play it. But yeah, the older I get, and I guess right now in this weird times, I cannot finish games. Like, there are a lot of games that cannot keep my attention, but Silent Hill F did. Like, I enjoyed my time from the beginning to the very end, and I immediately started NG Plus because I heard that gives way more context, and I was confused about what is going on. And the first, I don't know, 5 minutes was already, you know, a different cutscene, different information, different stuff that made me feel like, oh, okay, this is the direction we're going for. So I love this game. I really love this game, and I think everyone who is interested in horror and Silent Hill should give this a chance, and we should, you know, buy the game, support the devs. because I want to have more of this. This is something new. This is something where they tried something different, and I'm all for it. I'm really all for it. I think the combat system is very good. Like, it's not perfect, you know. Like, it's a survival horror combat. It's rarely perfect, but it does a pretty good job to keep it compelling. I think those very light RPG elements are cool to, you know, shape the skill expression in a way that fits your playstyle. I think the story is cool. Like, the vibe is exceptional. I love that it's Japanese, you know, as hell. um, I can only recommend it, and I hope that the last 90 minutes gave you a good impression of what the game is, and, you know, piqued your interest. If it did, as I said, go into the comment section and please let me know. Let me know. Do you like this game? Have you played it? What do you think about the combat system? You know, let us talk in the comments. I rarely get any comments, and I would really love to read about what you think about all the stuff, and, you know, spark a very cool discussion. And yeah, if you enjoyed the stream, you know, on YouTube, please maybe consider giving me a like, and tell your friends about this very special place on the internet. It really helps out a ton if you do that. My reach is very limited, and you guys can help me tremendously by liking and sharing and commenting, you know, telling YouTube that this is something that you like to see. If you do, like, I really would love to grow my community, to really be able to talk to you guys and figure out stuff that you might enjoy, to make it more interactive, you know, and shape the content to what you enjoy, because I'm a sucker for YouTube content. I'm rarely watching on Twitch, but also, hey, if you're watching on Twitch, it's totally fine. Like, I set it up so that everyone can enjoy it no matter where. I'm more a YouTube guy. And I get it. I also don't like to watch live streams too much. But I will have normal videos and live streams simultaneously. And I want to be for you guys live. If you want to talk to me, if you want to see my face, you know, if you want to interact with me as a person. And I also want to make curated videos about stuff that I enjoy. And if you do enjoy this as well, let's talk about all the stuff. You know, bring in your friends that might also enjoy this. Let's build a community. I would love that. And that being said, it's still like spooky month. I probably will hold off with Path of Exile for now, because I do think that I will stream some horror games. I don't know yet what I want to stream, but I think at one point I want to stream some Resident Evil 4 remake, because I really want to replay it this year, I think. Also, yes, as Soskobot says, Discord. You can join Discord. You find it in the descriptions of my video. You can, you know, put exclamation mark Discord in the thing. You can comment if you want an invite to Discord. Discord is totally free, and you can join my server. I use the news section on Discord very, very actively to, you know, tease new stuff that I'm working on, and spark discussions, or, you know, talk to you guys about what you want to see. I also play with friends, and if you're part of the Discord, you know, there's a chance we can play together, like the games that you want. That we want. So yeah, let's build a community. I really love this. I would love to have, you know, and if it's just a couple of people that I can regularly talk to and, you know, share this passion with, this would mean the world to me. Honestly, it's sometimes it's kind of a bit sad that I'm streaming and, you know, just one guy is here, or nobody, and I get that, you know, this is like the beginning. It's always like that, and I'm not active on social media, and I never will be, because I hate it. So it's on me as well, but I would love to have, you know, a small community that I can just share my passion with. So, and you are the only guys that can help me with that, because if you like, you comment, and you tell your friends, and you share this, YouTube knows that it's something relevant, and then it will put the video on timelines of different people, and we find the core audience, and it helps us all, because if we build a community, it would be so much fun. But this is way too much rambling. I just want to get this off my chest because sometimes, you know, I feel like I have to explain more what this is about. It's not about I want to have likes and, you know, money or whatever. It's just if you guys interact with my stuff and watch my stuff, then, you know, the chances are that YouTube is putting this on timelines of different people, and we bring in all the cool people that might enjoy my content, and this can just be healthy and fun for everyone. So let's do that. So yeah, as I said, I will stream some horror games during the month. I think Resident Evil 4 will be one of them, but I will, you know, I will pretty much do it however I want and put forth some cool stuff. Maybe even look into Silent Hill 2 remake, just to put some games onto your radar and also, you know, to celebrate this awesome month. But yeah, this was the stream for today. I hope you enjoyed, and yeah, we see each other next time. I'm still working on videos. I have a lot of things in the pipeline that take a lot of time to make, so be patient. And if you haven't already, please watch the video I did with the top 10 games that kick off spooky season. And sorry for the video being too dark. I know I used a different color space. I'm still learning. Like my you know, editing tool had a different color space that than YouTube was expecting, and that's why YouTube is making it darker. It's a whole brain fuck on its own. But I think it's even though it might be a little bit darker, it has some cool recommendations for the spooky season. Okay, enough. I hope you have a wonderful week and something awesome happens to you guys. And thank you so much for watching. I love you, and see you next time.